Today we're doing the Whoosh rear motor mount. So I'm gonna take you with me. First thing, we got jack stands under here, and it's secure. Give it a little push test, and then I still pump the jack up just enough to hold on there, just in case, God forbid, a jack fails. Which, whatever, you can be as safe as you want to. But anyway, where we're going is right here. Okay, see this little silver thing with my hands touching? That's the rear motor mount right there. So from out front of the car, here we are. It is right under here on that. And then I'm going to show you the bolts you need. Okay, so sliding back to this rear motor mount. Right now I'm facing the front left tire, wheel, whatever. There are 4 13 mil bolts that we're going to have to take out. So these two are holding in the rear motor mount right here. So that's going to get our stock one out. And then these two have to come out so you can pull the whole thing out with the bracket still on it. And I think it's just the 4 bolts there. They're all 13 mil, so I'm going to break those off. And we'll see where we're at. Okay, quick note, there are 2 bolts that come out, these first 2 right here. Short one goes in the back. Really long bolt right here goes in the front right here. So long, short, and I'm gonna take out these other 2. This is much for me. Short bolt, long bolt, and then there are 4, good God. This whole bracket has to come out for you to get this out. So these are 2 nuts on here, and then 2 more 13 mil nuts up top. I'm gonna finish taking these off. These top 2, sorry for the camera work. I'm all by myself today, and there's a washer with it. Oh, it looks like the whole little spacer thingy comes out, so those go back in exactly reverse of the way they came out. I'm trying to keep everything exactly where it was, so I'm finished taking that out. Whew. Let's not drop that. Come here. I dropped it anyway. And then the little spacer comes out, and then you'll see this little thing right here. So the other spacer's out right now, but now I've got that out. Again, I'm gonna put that over there so that this all stays together. Okay, so now I can take this bracket out, which, if I remember from my last Fiesta, oh, there you go. So just push up, just give it a wiggle, push it up, and then this whole piece will come right out. So that's how it's gonna go back in. And then that is gonna free us up. Oh, so close. Looks like we have 1 more, possibly 2. Yep, 2 more bolts right here. 1 and 2, and I'll bet you the 13 mils. So I'm gonna take those 2 out, and that should get the whole rear motor mount out with this black plate still on it. We wanna take the whole thing out with the black plate on it. We're gonna take the black plate off, swap the new motor mount in, and then reverse everything we just did. Let's track where these 2 bolts go, these spacer bolts. I now have the motor mount out right down there, and this one has a collar on it, the top one here. So if you're looking at it from this angle, I guess the most rear one, but this buddy has a collar or a spacer right here, and this one does not. So that's how you'll know the difference between which one is which, but just in case you get lost, that's how they're supposed to go. And I'm putting them back so I don't lose track of which one is which, because they are different, and I don't want to mess it up on the way back in. So now we got the motor mount out, we're going to swap it. Here's our Whoosh rear motor mount. Looks pretty awesome. I got the street spec one because I daily drive this, so I don't want it to kick my butt too hard, but you'll see that we're going to orient it just like that. And the bracket sits on the back side of it. If you look at it like a triangle, then the fatter bottom corner here is going to go right on here on the bottom part. So just so you can see that, and you can see how much, I mean, just playing with this thing's brand new. I mean, it's got 16,000 miles on it, and I can still, you know, wiggle it around a little bit, and this is just beefy as heck. So pretty excited to feel the difference. Anyway, this is just sitting in there, so you need to just whack it off with a hammer. So I'm gonna hold it like this, and then I'm just gonna tap it out with a hammer. And it's a metal bracket, so I'm not worried if it falls or if it gets scratched, because I'm never gonna see it anyway. So I'm gonna tap that out and then press it onto the new one. All right, so I actually stuck a little crowbar under there, popped that out. It was easier than whacking it with the rubber mallet. And then it just sits right in here. You know, you just got the bracket like that, and it just presses on here. And it doesn't really need to, it sits flush on there, so it doesn't appear like it needs a space or anything. And at first I thought I might need a grommet or something, but it sits on the top of this metal piece right here, even when it's on the stock one. So I'm assuming it sits flush right on there as well, because this piece doesn't come out. This is all integrated and stuff. But yeah, it's I mean, you can just bend this with your hand a little bit, which is okay. A little play is okay, but the thing to note with this, ooh, it says ST on it. Wow, I wonder if they like upgrade. I know I got my 16 one somewhere, but basically, the motor will smack the firewall between second, and third gear shifts. So this is a upgrade to kind of fix that problem. So we're gonna do everything reverse and get this installed, and hopefully it fixes our problem. The super long bolt back here, or rather up here, and right now everything's still pretty loose. Put these back, the spacer one up top, this one back in, just got them started with my finger here. I'm gonna tighten all 4 of these and then replace that bracket, and then put the little pan back on right here, and then show you how that goes back together in a second here. But yeah, for starters, put in those 4. It'll hold everything in place and keep you from getting out of whack with where you're at. Okay, so to put this bracket back on, so I got those 4 bolts tightened up. Just snug them up real good. You don't have to go full He-Man on them. It is a shock mount after all, so you want them tight enough where they're not obviously going to come out, but I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going about as tight as they were when they came out. It's kind of my rule of thumb there. I don't have a torque wrench, so I'm probably doing it wrong. And then I put this bracket in, and then I put the hat on top here, the little fuzzy thing, and then there's the 2 grommets that stick in it, or 2 little base pieces, and then these little nuts go right on top to hold that in. I actually tightened these up first, so then this bracket was free moving down here, so that it was nice and flush up to the bottom of this mount, and then put these 2 on and snugged all 4 of them up, and we're done. That is the Whoosh install. I don't think I missed anything, but I'm going to take it for a cruise and get excited.